So a bit of backstory. My friend, let's call her Lisa, has been one of my best friends since I was 6 years old. She moved to a different city, but we would spend like a week at each other's houses over the holidays. The problem is her mom is pretty entitled, and it's kinda rubbed off on Lisa. Now, I don't know how things work in other countries, but in South Africa you can get your learner's license at 16, which means you can drive a car, so long as an adult with a license is with you. You have to go to the licensing department and do written test about the rules of the road, etc. So on to the story. Keep in mind this happened a number of years ago, and I don't remember everything. The city I grew up in wasn't very big, so our traffic department has a shorter waiting period, and me and Lisa decided to do our learner's license together. The city where she lives is pretty big, and it's pretty common for them to wait at least a month between booking and writing the test, whereas we only have to wait a few days. So we booked the test and spent the next few days studying for it. We took the test and we both passed. Now it comes to paying for the test and the license itself. My mom pays for my one and steps aside to let Lisa pay for hers. She just looks up expectantly at my mom and says, "Oh, can't you pay for it? I'll ask my mom to send some money to pay you back." Now Lisa comes from a fairly well-off family, while my mom doesn't really have a lot of money to her name, but she begrudgingly pays for Lisa. End of the holiday draws near, and Lisa still hasn't paid back my mom. My mom asks her about it because it isn't cheap, and she promised to pay us back. Lisa makes an excuse about how her parents haven't sent the money, etc. She goes back to her parents a day or so later and still hasn't paid. My mom calls her mom and tells her the situation and asks if she can't just send the money through to her account. Her mother explodes at us, saying she sent the money and it's our fault if we never got it from her daughter. My mom is sort of timid and isn't confrontational and just left it at that. A week later, Lisa's dad, he can be a pretty reasonable bloke and is usually fair about this sort of thing, calls and apologizes for the hassle, saying that they didn't know Lisa just pocketed the money and he paid my mom back in full. This happened mid to late 2018. I honestly don't remember which month, mainly because I was just too depressed about losing my cat. Backstory: when I was a junior in high school, I was 14. I found this stray cat and brought it home. She was the very first cat that my grandma let me have, since I wasn't allowed near any furry animals because I have asthma. Though, I had like 10 dogs in my entire childhood. To the story, my childhood friend's cousin moved in our property and rented a small apartment. She had a daughter. Now, I've handled kids before, and yes, toddlers will get excited when they see animals. This neighbor didn't like it though. My cat, Blue, had been my cat for 7 years. My aunt and I loved her. Our other neighbors loved her too. Blue wasn't really a house cat. She lived in our property after I adopted her. She hunts rats and pests, and the neighbors loved her for that. Now Ep had openly admitted that she hated cats. Even told me to throw my other cat, Kankan, away because cats were apparently useless. So fast forward, I was 21. Blue was pregnant. My aunt just fed Kankan and her kittens and was calling Blue because it was time for food. Childhood friend told my aunt that Blue died. I was at work when this happened too, by the way. I got home. I saw my aunt petting Kankan. My aunt looked really upset, as if she cried. She then told me that Blue was gone. Everyone was upset tbh, except for Ep. She was happy that Blue died. She was so happy. She also said that she couldn't wait for Kankan to go next. If she does that, I'm throwing manure at her doorway. Backstory time, my dudes. I'm not severely disabled or anything, but I have an autoimmune disease / chronic illness that makes me super weak and tired and really affects my ability to be social / speak to others. I work part-time and I'm a full-time student, and this particular day I had an 8-hour work day, including driving 80 kilometers to various locations, and had a heap of study to do once I got home. I found a priority seat on my train, which was really busy, and opened my laptop to check my emails, etc. so I wouldn't need to once I got home, and could sleep a little bit before I had to start working. Then this bitch gets in the carriage with her brat, maybe 9 to 10 Y/O. Ep equals entry level Pegasus. Ek equals extreme karate main equals municipal egg. Ep stares me down for a solid minute while the train prepares to leave the station. Ek, mum, how far until home? Ep, a long way hun. 5 stops. Ek groans and sits on the floor, obviously on the verge of a tantrum. Ep, don't worry. I'm sure this young lady would love to give you her seat, since she's just playing computer games. I look up at her hoping she has empathy and silently plead her not to continue. It is not very effective. I also hate telling people I'm sick, mind you. Ep, that's priority seating. My kid needs it more than you do. Me, sorry, I'm not well, I really would like to sit. Is that okay? Ep, you don't look very sick. Ek, yeah you aren't sick. Ep, I think we all know what you should do. Me, I'm sorry, I really need the seat. Ep now raises her nasal, shrew voice, how dare you? You are so entitled. You millennials have no respect for others, it's bloody disgusting. Ek starts laughing. Go mum. She storms off, and another passenger offers them seats. The whole train glares at me, and I literally want to crumble into the goddamn earth. A mother let her daughter pee on the floor because her daughter was too angry to go to the bathroom a few feet away, all because she wanted a remote control unicorn that poops and flies that she saw on TV. The mother is convinced it exists, and whether or not it does, it didn't show up on Google, and we certainly don't have it at our store. The few options that showed up just made the little girl increasingly angry until she screams that's the wrong one. I'm so angry, I'm gonna pee. And her mother explains she says this when she's angry as the girl begins to actually urinate right there on the floor. I'm stunned. The mother made no attempt to take the little girl to the bathroom or anything. The kicker though is the fact the mother waited until the little girl was done, then said you should try to keep things in stock because I bet Walmart has it and I'm not cleaning that up, and headed off to another area. One of the other associates saw this and hurried to get the cleaning supplies from the closet because it's a health issue. I offered to help with it too, but they said they had it, so that's all there is to it. Really gross. Did you enjoy this video? Leave a like and subscribe to Brody for more.